Brees had 16 receptions for 161 yards and 1 touchdown. Cincinnati improves to 3-4. Pittsburgh falls to 4-2. This game, Joe Flacco was carving them up pretty good after the first quarter. In the beginning of the game, he was off. He was like missing his receivers just by this much, and then they got on the same page, and they look pretty good. Old man Joe Flacco versus old man Aaron Rodgers. Moving on to the Sunday games. The Los Angeles Rams defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 35-7. Matt Stafford had himself a day for the Rams. Matt Stafford was 21 of 33 for 182 yards and 5 touchdowns. No interceptions for a QBR of 76.9 and a rating of 117.7. Kyron Williams carried the rock 12 times for 54 yards. Kobe Parkinson had 3 receptions for 47 yards. Devontae Adams had 5 receptions for 35 yards and 3 touchdowns. For the Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence was 23 of 48 for 296 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, for a QBR of 13 and a rating of 74.7. Travis Etienne Jr. carried the rock 8 times for 44 yards. Travis Hunter had 8 receptions for 101 yards and 1 touchdown. Jacksonville falls to 4-3. The Rams improved to 5-2. Alright, moving on to the Sunday afternoon games. The Cleveland Browns defeated the Miami Dolphins 31-6. Miami continues to be just an absolute mess. Tua Tagovailoa was 12 of 23 for 100 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions, for a QBR of 3.3 and a rating of 24.1. That's right. Y'all heard me correctly there. A QBR of 3.3 and a rating of 24.1. Disaster. Devon Achane carried the rock 13 times for 82 yards. D. Eskridge had 2 receptions for 45 yards. For the Cleveland Browns, Dylan Gabriel was 13 of 18 for 116 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, for a QBR of 23.2 and a rating of 89.1. Quinshon Judkins carried the rock 25 times for 84 yards and 3 touchdowns. Harold Fannin Jr. had 4 receptions for 36 yards. The Browns improved to 2-5. The Dolphins fall to 1-6. The Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Las Vegas Raiders 31-0. I was not surprised about this one. Getting shut out. The Raiders. For the Raiders, Geno Smith was 10 of 16 for 67 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, for a QBR of 7.7 and a rating of 71.6. This is some tough QB numbers here. Ashton Jeanty carried the rock 6 times for 21 yards. Trey Tucker had 5 receptions for 33 yards. For Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes was 26 of 35 for 286 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, for a QBR of 89.6 and a rating of 126.6. Isaiah Pacheco carried the rock 15 times for 57 yards and a touchdown. Travis Kelce had 3 receptions for 54 yards. Kansas City improves to 4-3. The Raiders fall to 2-5. The New England Patriots defeated the Tennessee Titans 31-13. For the Patriots, Drake May was 21 of 23 for 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, for a QBR of 96.3 and a rating of 135.9. Have a day, Drake May, 21 of 23, 222, 2 tutties, 96.3 Chicago Bears defeated the New Orleans Saints 26-14. For the Saints, Spencer Rattler was 20 of 32 for 233 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, for a QBR of 30.1 and a rating of 66.3. Alvin Kamara carried the rock 11 times for 28 yards. Chris Olave had 5 receptions for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. For the Bears, Caleb Williams was 15 of 26 for 172 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, for a QBR of 19.5 and a rating of 61.7. DeAndre Swift carried the rock 19 times for 124 yards and 1 touchdown. DJ Moore had 3 receptions for 43 yards. Chicago improves to 4-2. The Saints fall to 1-6. The Philadelphia Eagles defeated the Minnesota Vikings 28-22. For Philly, Jalen Hurts was 19 of 23 for 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, for a QBR of 95.1 and a rating of 158.3. Saquon Barkley carried the rock 18 times for 44 yards. Devontae Smith had 9 receptions for 183 yards and a touchdown. Have a day, Devontae Smith. A.J. Brown had a good day too, 4 receptions for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. For the Minnesota Vikings, Carson Wentz was 26 of 42 for 313 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, for a QBR of 45.8 and a rating of 64.9. Jordan Mason carried the rock 15 times for 57 yards and a touchdown. Jordan Addison had 9 receptions for 128 yards. Minnesota falls to 3-3. The Philadelphia Eagles improved to 5-2. I continue to just get these Philly games wrong. Philly doesn't look good. They're not running the ball well at all. But you are what your record says you are, and they're 5-2. So, they're winning games, but it's just, I'm just really struggling picking their games this year. Moving on, the Indianapolis Colts, I think the biggest surprise of the season so far. They defeated the Los Angeles Chargers 38-24 on Sunday. For the Colts, Indiana Jones, Danny Dimes. Daniel Jones was 23 of 34 for 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, for a QBR of 88.2 and a rating of 113.4. Jonathan Taylor carried the rock 16 times for 94 yards and 3 touchdowns. Alec Pierce had 5 receptions for 98 yards. For the Chargers, Justin Herbert was 37 of 55 for 420 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, for a QBR 59.2 and a rating of 93. Herbert was also the leading rusher for the Chargers, carried the rock 6 times for 31 yards. Oronde Gadsden II had 7 receptions for 164 yards and a touchdown. Keenan Allen had 11 receptions for 119 yards and a touchdown. The Chargers fall to 4-3. The Indianapolis Colts improved to 6-1, the best record in the league. Okay, moving on here. The Denver Broncos defeated the New York Giants 33-32. Crazy game. The Broncos shut out until the 4th quarter, put up 33 points in the 4th quarter to win by 1. Yeah, crazy comeback. For the Giants, Jackson Dart was 15 of 33 for 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, for a QBR of 67.3 and a rating of 93.4. Cam Scatterboo carried the rock 16 times for 60 yards. Wan'Dale Robinson had 6 receptions for 95 yards. For the Denver Broncos, Bo Nix was 27 of 50 for 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, for a QBR of 82.1 and a rating of 83.7. J.K. Dobbins carried the rock 14 times for 81 yards. Cortland Sutton had 6 receptions for 87 yards. The Broncos improved to 5-2. The yards and a touchdown. For the Commanders, Jaden Daniels was 12 of 22 for 156 yards and one touchdown. No interceptions for a QBR of 45.3 and a rating of 92.2. Left the game in the third quarter with a hamstring strain, so I think they say he's going to miss next week, but hopefully not an extended amount of time for them. But he was also the leading rusher, carried the rock 8 times for 35 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Lane had 3 receptions for 60 yards. Washington falls to 3-4. The Dallas Cowboys improved to 3-1. And now we move on to the Sunday night game. The San Francisco 49ers defeated the Atlanta Falcons 20-10. For Atlanta, Michael Penix Jr. was 21 of 38 for 241 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, for a QBR of 29.7 and a rating of 83.3. Bijan Robinson carried the rock 14 times for 40 yards. Darnell Mooney had 3 receptions for 68 yards. For the San Francisco 49ers, Mac Jones was 17 of 26 for 152 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, for a QBR of 62.6 and a rating of 64.9. This just in, Christian McCaffrey is a good football player. Okay, Christian McCaffrey carried the rock 24 times for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. And guess what? He was the leading receiver also, with 7 receptions for 72 yards. My man putting up over 200 yards of total offense and 2 touchdowns. Carried him to that win. San Francisco improves to 5-2. Atlanta falls to 3-3. Alright, we're looking at Monday night games now. Tampa Bay versus Detroit. The Detroit Lions defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24-9. For Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield was 28 of 50 for 228 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for a QBR of 23.7 and a rating of 66.1. Rashad White carried the rock 10 times for 38 yards. Cade Otton had 7 receptions for 65 yards. For the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff was 20 of 29 for 241 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for a QBR of 29.4 and a rating of 91.3. Jahmyr Gibbs had a game. He carried the rock 17 times for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 3 receptions for 82 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 6 receptions for 86 yards and a touchdown. The Lions improved to 5-2. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers fall to 5-2. I think the surprise in that game was how good Detroit's defense looked against Tampa Bay. Now the Buccaneers, they're banged up a little bit, but Baker been balling out and they really shut him down completely in the first half. He got a little bit of stats in the second half, but absolutely nothing going in the first half for them. So I did think that was very interesting. I expected more of a shootout. But Lions defense did step up Monday night. And then we had a doubleheader Monday night. The Seattle Seahawks defeated the Houston Texans 27-19. For Houston, CJ Stroud was 23 of 49 for 229 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for a QBR of 25.2 and a rating of 59. Stroud was the leading rusher, 2 carries for 25 yards, and Dalton Schultz was the leading receiver, 9 receptions for 98 yards. For the Seattle Seahawks, Sam Darnold was 17 of 31 for 213 Minnesota. But that's another interesting division. AFC West, also interesting. As I said, Kansas City on a rise. The Chargers are good. Broncos are winning games. The Broncos haven't consistently looked good, but they're winning games. So, all that's very